everybody, and welcome to another edition of Community Works. I'm Bernadette Welsh, your host. Each one of our shows highlights a local nonprofit organization in our area. Our goal is to educate you, our viewers, about the great work that's going on all around us every day by local agencies and their supporters. When people help their neighbors, everybody benefits. The focus of today's show is an amazing cultural center called Best Video, located in Hamden, and they do such wonderful things. But rather than me talk about it, I am so fortunate to have the executive director of Best Video here with me as my guest. Her name is Julie Smith. Welcome to the show, Julie.
Thank you so much, Bernadette. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure, absolutely. So we always start off the show with mission and history. So Julie, what can you tell our viewers about the mission of Best Video?
So the mission of Best Video is to preserve and grow and share our film archive. That is the central mission of Best Video. And we have a film archive of approximately 45,000 titles. Yes, for real.
For real, wow, yeah.
But along with the film archive, as I said, that really is the crux of why we're there. But as a nonprofit, we are also driven to not only share the archive, but bring cultural interests to the community. It's really become a community gathering space, and we really look to promote local artists as well, whether they be musicians, poets, authors, all different kinds of folks. And I'd say sort of secondary to those things as well, that is starting now, is really looking out at fellow nonprofits and figuring out how we can also amplify their voices.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's a great part of your mission. Now, I understand. I know we're going to educate our viewers a little bit. Best Video started out back in the day as being a store,
Absolutely.
and now it's a cultural center. How did that come about, Julie?
So Best Video was founded in 1985 by Hank Paper, and right in the same neighborhood in Spring Glen in Hamden. And he started it with 500 videos. Good old VHS tapes.
I love it.
Those of us of a certain age remember well.
We know.
And they were 500 films that he could personally recommend. He had seen all the films, he liked them, and he could recommend them, and then started building. We actually have a section that's still called Best of Best, which is really based on that sort of original 500 tapes. And it grew and grew and grew. And it did change locations, I think once. It started out where we are now and then moved and came back. But, you know, as everybody's seen their local Blockbuster or whatever video store, you know, they used to go to, obviously with the internet and streaming services, almost every single other video rental store went by the wayside. But Best Video had really become sort of the hub of that community. And in 2015, when it really looked like, you know, it was the end of the road, a number of people who members and neighbors of Best Video came together and said, how can we save Best Video? And someone came up with what I think is the brilliant idea to make it a nonprofit and to really expand the scope of what they were doing and make it into a cultural center. So Best Video became a nonprofit in 2015.
Excellent, love it, absolutely love it. Okay, so now you use the word member. Could you tell our viewers what it means to become a member of Best Video rather than just coming in and you don't buy anything, right? So explain that. How is it to be a member?
So you can come in and rent a movie. You don't have to be a member.
Okay.
But quite frankly, it's really financially, it makes a lot more sense to be a member. So we have a number of different membership opportunities. We actually just redid our memberships and added a student teacher membership because, again, the whole point of the archive is to share it, and who better to share it with than students and teachers who are also going to bring it to either their classrooms or their friends.
Absolutely.
So we do have a student and teacher membership, and then it starts from you can take out one movie and you can have it for as long as you want it. Or I'm sorry, you can't scrap that. You can't have it for as long as you want
No, Julie,
it.
you cannot have it as long as you want.
Absolutely can't. What I meant to say was you can actually take out, so you can come to the counter and say, here, I want to take out Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch it tonight. You can bring it back tomorrow and say, oh, I'm done with Citizen Kane. I want to watch Casablanca. And so as many films as you can watch that's as many films as you can take out.
And that's part of the basic membership?
That's the basic membership. So that's what we would refer to as the one movie membership. Along with that, there are no late fees. We do ask people to bring it back. With the one membership, we ask people to bring it back within about 4 days.
Okay.
Unless it's one of the, a new release or something like that. We usually ask people to bring those back in 2 days because, as you can imagine, they're popular.
They're popular, yeah.
So then you also get free entry to our monthly screening series. So
Ooh, what's that?
we each month will either a staff member or oftentimes community members will say, hey, have you guys thought about doing this kind of movie series? This month we are showing a Korean filmmaker, Park Chan-wook.
Yes.
We're showing actually 3 of his films that are called the Vengeance Trilogy. They're a little dark, but but really incredible filmmaking. And another one of his films. And next month, actually, I believe we're going to be doing, because it's the month of May, we're going to be showing the films of Elaine May.
Oh, that's fabulous.
So yeah,
so that's a different aspect. Now, is that called a membership to do that, or is that just something, a service that Best Video
that's
provides?
just one. It's another one of the events that we do.
Excellent.
But for our members, it's free. If you're not a member, I believe it's $7.
Excellent.
And then, but going back to the membership, I'm trying to keep
Yes.
myself on track.
Yes, we're good. We're doing good, Julie. We're doing good.
So you could have a 2-movie membership, and that means you can take out 2 movies for 7 nights. Or, as I said, you could watch 2 movies tonight, bring them back tomorrow, take out 2 more movies. And with the 2-movie membership and the 4-movie membership, you also get 10% off at the coffee bar.
So that's another thing we want to talk about. Okay, but before we get to the wonderful coffee bar.
Okay.
We started talking about your cultural events.
Yes.
So what kind of cultural events would someone find happening at Best Video?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I know music's the big one, right?
Music is a big one. We have music every week, at least twice a week. And actually, I think this week we have 3 nights of music. So this week is a great example. Tomorrow night we're showing the Korean filmmaker I was talking about. We have that tomorrow night. Wednesday night is experimental music. So it's going to be really interesting. Thursday night we've partnered with the New Haven Pride Center, East Rock House, and Hamden Pride, and created what's called the Queer Film Club. So we're showing a film called Go Fish on Thursday night. Friday night we have a jug band playing.
Okay, there you go.
And Saturday night we have an indie rock band playing. So, and then one of the things coming up next week that I'm so excited about, actually one of our police officers in Hamden happens to be a TED Talk speaker.
Oh, wow.
And he also works with Hamden High School, and he put a call out to high school students, and if they were interested in entering, I think it was a competition in TEDx Hartford, and 3 Hamden High School students entered, and all 3 of them won in Hartford.
Wow.
So they're coming to Best Video
And they're going to do
next
their
Thursday,
thing.
and they're going to do longer versions of their TED Talks. And we're so excited about that.
And so proud.
So
You're
proud because that sort of is just the culmination of what we're trying to do. Is really be someplace that the community feels like it's their space. But we have everything from, we do a lounge night every month where we have lounge music, and we're working with the New Haven Documentary Festival now. The first Friday of every month is one of their winning documentaries.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and we're reaching out to a number of different area nonprofits. We're going to be working with the Library Institute in New Haven. So yeah, it's exciting. We have a lot of stuff going on.
That is amazing, because that just indicates to everybody that it is truly a cultural center. It's not, it used to be a store, it's not a store anymore. I think Julie and I have made the point. It's a cultural center, and things are happening at Best Video all the time. I think it's fabulous. I think that's wonderful. Okay, so now let's talk about the coffee shop, because I know when I went to first visit you, and I've even been in Best Video before, because you're right across the street from Spring Glen Church. I go after church and have yourself some coffee. So tell us how the coffee shop fits in with the mission and the vibe of Best Video.
Oh, well, first of all, we have the best coffee
Of course
around.
you do.
We serve Willoughby's coffee, so it's local, it's local coffee. And if you've never had Willoughby's, oh my gosh, you're missing out. But what the coffee bar does in terms of really, it doesn't just enhance the space, it really makes it a gathering space. Because, I mean, think about it. What do we come together to do the most? We come together to eat, when you say, hey, do you want to meet for a cup of coffee? I mean, it's sort of, it's ingrained in I'm probably like,
No, you're so
probably
good.
keep
You
hitting my
haven't
mic.
touched it yet.
So what the coffee shop does is it really creates that sense of you're coming someplace where you're going to get sustenance and a nurturing kind of a different ilk, if you were. So, you can sit and have a great cup of coffee, and I mean, all kinds of people come and use it to do remote work.
I noticed that when I
Yeah,
came to
all the
see
time.
you. You even turned on the World Cup soccer game for
Oh,
a
yeah.
lady that won. Do you
Absolutely.
remember?
Yes.
Lady wanted to see it, and you said, Bernadette, wait a minute, I got to get this going. And she sat on that comfortable sofa, and you turned on the soccer game for her. Yeah, that is a homey, fun place.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. And the coffee bar really, like I said, it doesn't just enhance that, it's what gives it that feeling. You walk in and that smell of fresh coffee, and
Can I get a cup of tea?
yes.
Good.
We've got great tea too. And we have beer and wine. So that also, for people when they come to see shows and stuff,
Yeah,
if they
they
want to grab a
wanna
beer,
do,
grab
yeah.
a glass of wine, it makes it a much greater experience, a much fuller experience.
Yeah, a place where people say, well, let's just go to Best Video.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you, Julie, for explaining that to everybody. Okay, so now what we're going to do with the help of my wonderful director is we're going to look at a few pictures that'll give you a sense of what Julie and I have been talking about. So hang on, because we're going to bring them up right now. Okay, Julie, this is a montage of the 3 things that we've been talking about. Can you explain to everybody what we're looking at?
Sure. So the top left photo is actually looking from one of our aisles. It's actually what we call the genre aisle, because you've got action and adventure and cult and mystery and suspense on one side. You've got horror and science fiction on the other, but that's looking up towards our counter. The picture on the right was just after we sort of had a big cleaning day, and we really rearranged and made the space, as you said, very homey. That's what we're going for. Somebody referred to it as Hamden's living room.
Oh, well, I like that.
I do
Hamden's
too.
living room. I like it.
I do too. So I actually, those are all flowers from my garden that I
I
brought
love
in.
Thank you.
We're just trying to, also soften it, because it's just so full of, DVDs that
Yeah, it could be a
you
little
need
bit
some
dark.
green.
You
Yes.
need some
we need
light.
some green and
Yeah.
green and light in there. And the picture on the bottom left was actually a show that we had just recently. I took that up. I had to get up on a stool to take it. We had so many people in there. Yeah, it was a wonderful concert that we had a couple of weeks ago. That was, as you can see, very well attended.
Yes, very well attended.
It's a really nice transformative space that we have there.
Yeah, I enjoyed being in the space. I really did. Okay, well, thank you. And now we're back on the screen. So now let's talk about special requests. So let's say I wanted to see something that I asked you. I said, Julie, can you find this for me? You say, no, Bernadette, but I think you will answer, but I can get it for you, right?
Yes, that happens. Actually, it happens maybe not every day, but probably every other day. Even though, as I said, our archive is sizable
extensive.
and it grows every single
Yeah.
week. But there are still things that, we don't have. And oftentimes somebody will come in and say, hey, I'm looking for, the 1958, somebody came in today looking for a 1958 film directed by Jose Ferrer. And I said, we don't have this. What I actually wound up discovering is it was never put on DVD, which is the case with a lot of movies. That's one of the interesting things about our archive, is that we have a lot of films. People say, oh, I can just watch it on streaming services. We have thousands of films that you can't find on streaming services. But we will oftentimes, if we don't have it, we will either get it for the archive, or a lot of times people want it for their own personal collection, and we can do that too. We can order
okay.
films,
And they can purchase it.
They can purchase it through us. Yes.
Interesting, because you're going to have your copy anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
But as I said, a lot of times we will add it to the archive, because if one member wants to see it, it's probably likely that someone else wants to see it.
About foreign language films? Do you have
Oh,
foreign
tons. I mean, we
With
have
the subtitles?
tens of thousands of, yes, from every country you could possibly imagine.
That's wonderful. I know my Italian teachers keep saying to us, get an Italian film, watch it once with the subtitles, and then if you can make the subtitles go away, see how much you can understand. So that's a
That
service.
is a great idea.
Yeah, it is. It is a very good. If you want to learn a language, or whether it's Spanish or German,
Yep.
you just listening to dialogue is such a great way to learn language. That's super. I like that. Okay, now I think you did mention new releases, but let's expand on that. How long does a film need to be out before you can get it? I mean, with new releases, Julie, how does that work?
So we get, I'm trying to think of a new release that's coming out this week, tomorrow, actually. So a lot of films, we get them on Fridays, and they're not even, we can't even put them out on the shelf until tomorrow morning. So, I mean, movies that were just in the movie theater.
Yeah.
We get all of them.
See, and that's a wonderful service, because a lot of people still, Julie, don't feel comfortable going into a movie theater.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing
Yep.
to say, that they could come to Best Video and get it.
Absolutely.
Which brings me to my next question, which I think I will sneak in. How did Best Video survive the COVID, and how did members deal with COVID and coming to Best Video? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can. I wasn't there during COVID. I came in on as executive director at the end of June of last year. But I have to really give so much credit and, just wow to not only the staff, but the previous executive director, Hank Hoffman. They really pivoted quickly. You know, they were closed, as so many places were,
Right.
for a little while, not too long. And then they started doing curbside, so people could call up and say, hey, I want to rent, you know, X movie. And they, you know, they'd put it in a bag, they'd clean it, sanitize it, put it in a bag, and people could come pick it up.
Excellent.
And they'd bring it back, and obviously they'd clean everything. So they really managed to stay alive,
Wow.
which is just astonishing.
It is astonishing because people really do want to. It may when you could do something like when you could have a workaround, it makes people feel that their whole world hasn't fallen apart.
Yes, exactly.
And so that is, I think, an important aspect of how businesses pivoted during COVID to try to get people to be able to do what they wanted to do. And Best Video was no exception, and I'm happy to hear about that. Okay. So now we have to talk about fundraising. I know some people think it's not nice to talk about money, but we talk about money on Community Works all the time.
Well, we have to.
We have to. So, Julie, how do you raise money for your mission?
Well, membership, obviously.
Right.
As it's, you know, it's very reasonable, but membership is, you know, one of the biggest things that helps us stay open. But we do a lot of fundraising. I've been writing a lot of grants.
Aha, a lot of grants.
A
Okay.
lot of grant applications, and I really do need to give a big shout out to Connecticut Humanities and the Connecticut Office of the Arts, because they really are wonderful. And a little closer to home, I don't think a lot of nonprofits would be in this area would be around if were not for the Community Foundation
Yeah,
of Greater
for
New
sure.
Haven. I mean, they really are wonderful. And as I think we were discussing, we have the Great Give coming up. So,
Yes.
and I will say the Great Give for Best Video has been extremely successful. We have a really dedicated board who gets out there,
Okay.
and they really, you know, work their tails off.
Sure.
And
Letting everybody know, getting
Yep.
emails out to donors, letting them know that the Great
Exactly.
Give is coming up.
So we've been very fortunate to have such hardworking board members and such generous community members, and who really, you know, Best Video it's a very special place.
Yeah. And people want to support a place
do.
that's their home away from home.
Exactly.
Who wouldn't want to do that? They wouldn't want to see that go away. Never want to see that go away. Okay, so now I think we're going to look at the website. So we want folks to check out. Now it's under construction. It's being worked on. It's almost ready, kind of pretty much ready, but that's okay. Go look at the website. Julie, this is what we put together for you. It says Best Video Film and Cultural Center. There's the website. There's the location, ladies and gentlemen. We want you to visit 1842 Whitney Avenue in Hampden, and you'll see how amazing Best Video is. Just walk in the door and ask for a cup of coffee and a film. And of course, you can always call 203-287-9286. Isn't that right, Julie?
Yes, it is.
For sure. So take advantage of that, folks. Go visit Best Video. And I think also on your website, people can make a donation, maybe even outside of the
absolutely
Great
can.
Give. Can they do that?
They absolutely can. Yep, right at the top, you'll see the donate page, and you just click, and we make it very easy.
Oh, that's good, Julie. I hope you do, because it's important, because we do want you to stick around for a very long time.
Me too.
Okay, so Julie, this is our special question.
Okay.
How has your participation over the past couple of years in Best Video, what does it mean to you personally and to the community? I think you've put your personal stamp on things, so please let us know how you feel about that.
Best Video, interestingly enough, I tell people this story and they really can't believe it, but it is the truth. My husband and my sons and I moved to Connecticut, to Hampden, in 2001. And we were, looking for houses, and we we were coming from New Haven and we were driving, north into Hamden. And my husband went, "Oh my gosh, Best Video. I used to go there when I was in school." And we wound up moving to Hamden because of Best Video.
I love
now,
it.
this was
Because of
22 years ago.
Wow.
And we very shortly, I think 2 months after we moved in, we had our, we went and even then you did kind of have a membership. It was different than it is now. And so we've been, members at Best Video for over 20 years.
Wow.
My kids grew up there. That was okay. We're going to Best Video. You can pick out one movie. So for me, and actually, my eldest son works at Best Video.
Oh, you gotta love that.
So, and he started working there long before I was ever there. So it is such a special place to me. And now being the executive director there, it's been incredible. The people that come in, it's what the people that work there and the people that come in is really what makes it so special. It's because, it's that human connection, and that's what's so amazing about the place, and that's what art does. It connects us, and that's what the films that are there do. So it's really sort of this place. It has become, I think, more and more this place of connection where people really can come and feel safe. Mm-hmm. They feel welcome.
Yes.
And know that they're coming to a place where everybody is welcome. And it's lovely. It's a lovely place to be. It's a lovely place to work. As I said, the staff are truly the best. And people feel that when they walk in. I really believe that. So it's a great place to work, to go in every day and feel that, and know you're going to meet fascinating people.
Yeah, interesting people
Yeah.
all the time. Interesting people all the time. Well, I'm so glad you got to share that with us, Julie, because when you go to Best Video, you get to meet Julie Smith.
Yes, you
do. And that's also very nice. All right, so we are so sorry we're just about out of time, but it's been such a pleasure to talk to you, Julie, and to educate everybody about the cultural aspects, the cultural vibe at Best Video, and so thank you very, very much.
Thank you, and thank you for having this program.
Oh, well,
seriously.
You're most welcome. I'm having a blast.
It shows.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this segment of Community Works with Julie Smith and Best Video. We hope that you enjoyed the show. If you want to get in touch with me, if you have a nonprofit that you want to be on the show, we're going to show you a graphic that'll tell you, there we go, how you could get a hold of me. You could visit me on Facebook. You can send me an email. You can give me a text or a phone call. And let me know if you'd like to be on the show or what kind of nonprofit you are, and we'll see if we can get you on the show. So, thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you again next time. And do remember, when people help their neighbors, everybody benefits. Bye-bye.